What is happening, guys? This is Smiting Fatty, and I'm here with kind of a two and a half part video. First, let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is actually something I didn't mean to get into. It is Clan v Clan Team Deathmatch, and oh boy, this is exactly why we do not have this. I about said donut. This is why we do not have this for competitive, because it is boring as all get out. People just end up camping. So basically it's 4v4 team camp match. But I try my best not to be campy. I mean, I do play a little slower. But either way, it's not the best. I just thought it was a great example, especially after, getting into it on accident. The main part of this, actually no, let's do the half part, the 2.5 part. The half part is, everybody should know by now, if you've watched my videos, I've had surgery, so I sound a little different. I act a little different. Probably the closest to drunk you'll ever find me because I'm on some painkillers. I had shoulder surgery, so that's what that's about. But what I really wanted to talk about today was the state of eSports and the cursed lineups. That's what I said, lineups with an S, just like FaZe, except for we already knew Curse had more than one team. They had 3 teams. They're going to continue to have 3 teams. First, let's go ahead and talk about the Curse Youth lineup, which pretty much stayed the same. Basically, it's Realize, Attach, Miyagi, and Diabolic. Miyagi, the newest member, he joined after Denial got dissolved, but I heard Denial's back, so I need to go look into that a little bit more. Maybe if you know, you can let me know in the chat. But I think that's a strong lineup, and I think adding Miyagi adds something to the Search and Destroy part that, maybe they were missing. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I think Miyagi's a great player. I think I said that on MLG.TV with Puckett. I like saying that, MLG.TV. But the new Curse Las Vegas, or we should call it Curse Parasite, because he was the only one on there for a while. It was getting kind of nerve-wracking for him, I'm sure. But this excites me. This Curse Las Vegas lineup is going to be Parasite, Enable, Tipsy, and Mochila. If you guys don't know, Mochila means backpack in Spanish. I know that because my boy speaks Spanish. And he's redheaded. Not that that has anything to do with anything, but I could be Benson's dad, by the way. So, let's go ahead. Parasite, we all know Parasite, the champion. Dude is just a monster, especially if there was, if we had Hardpoint in this game, I think he'd still be probably one of the best. But Enable, the Halo Pro, he also has red hair. We gotta love him. But Enable, I think he's becoming just a great player, and he should be respected by all players out there. Tipsy from Justice. Now, this is an interesting story, and I didn't really touch on it before. Justice has Miracles, who was on Curse, and now they have Tipsy, and Curse has Tipsy, who was on Justice. Blevdog, who manages Curse COD, and my man Big Snacks made a trade, which I think is the coolest thing. It's showing that we are growing as a sport, as esports, because we're able to actually facilitate trades. We're going to do it in professional manners. We're not going to have players just not get along and say, we're leaving, because that is beyond unprofessional. And it's what keeps away bigger sponsors, bigger and better sponsors. We just got Monster, which I believe is just a crazy good sponsor. But through the actions that Big Snacks and Blevdog are doing to help solidify and stabilize Call of Duty esports, who knows? Maybe Maytag or Toyota or Summer's Eve. I don't know. Maybe these big, huge companies are going to start sponsoring, Call of Duty, which, how amazing would that be? Curse Las Vegas brought to you by, Sunblock because you're in Vegas. Or maybe even Curse Las Vegas brought to you by the casino royale. I don't know. But another interesting thing is both Justice and Curse are moving to Atlanta in a house. So it's going to be a Curse team house and a Justice team house. But either way, I think that's cool. So we got sidetracked. Tipsy was involved with that trade. That's why he's there. Mochilla was from New York, and he's now there. So this squad, I think, could absolutely be scary because Tipsy can slay. Mochilla definitely can slay. Parasite has the smarts. Enable can slay. So this is... Oh, man. Like, we've seen a bunch of rosters that are trying to emulate this complexity lineup. And I think they're starting to realize they can do it. Now, what they need to do, and this is what I said in the last video, they need to stay together. They got to hold each other. And just kidding. They just got to stay together and work at it and do what complexity has done. And that's build a dynasty. And how you build a dynasty is stay together in that dynasty. That is just beyond awesome. Now, they also made a new team, which is kind of part of an old team, but two old teams, we'll say. Curse Fire, which I don't know why they called it Fire because whatever. But Curse Fire is going to be led by Burnsoff, who was, New York, Curse New York Burnsoff. But they also brought in TVA or AOX or whatever the heck they were called, Mud Dog, Croster, and John Sin Baez, which I love Sin. He was on Fuse for a long time, and he's an absolute monster. Croster's a monster. Mud Dog, he coached Envy, and I thought did a really good job. I was surprised he went back to playing, and he absolutely has impressed me as a player. I think Mud Dog is a smart, talented player, and I think this lineup is absolutely going to go ham and do great things. So, we will see what it brings, these guys just this cursed lineup or these cursed lineups are beautiful, and I think they're going to give a lot of teams a run for their money. Now, one other thing I wanted to talk about was the whole statement that Adam AP put up in on Reddit, and I'll link that in here. Mr. MLG Adam, who is verified, he says, this is MLG Pro League Season 2 roster ruling, because they had all these changes. They had to do something. They had to put something out there, especially in the case where SB doesn't have, any of their players besides the one maybe. I don't even know if they have one. But it says, I know many of you are waiting to hear updates around our roster ruling for Season 2. We have been discussing the current situation internally and have come up with a decision. Recent tournament results have caused major roster shifts at the top of Call of Duty competitive community. Unfortunately, this common occurrence hurts the growth of the sport, which is true. I've been saying that for a long time. We will allow the teams that were established in Season 1 MLG Call of Duty League to submit a roster for Season 2, or roster of Season 2 starters without any restrictions. But before the start of the season, before the start of the Season 2, strict rules will be created governing the timing and frequency of roster changes. Yes, thank you very much. Praise the COD gods. So yeah, and it says, all 12 of the current pro teams must submit a full roster by April 15th in order to retain eligibility. And that's in 6 days from now. So less than a week, and they got to get that done. So, I think we're seeing, I like what they're doing with the league. At first I was, I didn't like it, and I don't know what that guy was doing. He was trying to quick scope me, and then I get killed from up there. But no, I'm sorry, off track. I like what MLG's trying to do. They're trying to stabilize it. stabilize everything. And everybody's going to say, well, you're screwing all the AMs. Well, the fact is the AMs wouldn't really come close to getting in the money anyways. And now they're getting a chance if they do break into that, the top 2 spots, they will have a spot. So, yeah, I think they're doing good. And Blevdog and Big Snacks, they're good friends. They're friends of mine. And, we've all been trying to work at doing something to stabilize the community. And I think they've done it. So, big props to them. Good job, guys. And I'm proud of all of you. Anyways, if you liked it, like it. If you have any comments, put them down in the chat below. I love you guys. Have a great day. Goodbye.